What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Okay, and we still got some more to go with these celebrities, the media, and things of this nature. So let's go ahead and start, honey. Now we finna be starting with Nelson Mandela. Okay, I'm not gonna say hated it because I didn't hate Nelson Mandela. But this was something that we was learning about in school about the Nelson Mandela being released from prison and things of this nature way back in the day. Okay, this was huge. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that are caught up within Nelson Mandela, that word that have been caught up with his own within his body, are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. The death of Princess Diana. Now let's go back to Nelson, but I'm talking about the whole media report and all of the coverage, everything, all of my light sparks that got caught up within the midst of that coverage are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Now, the death of Princess Diana. Diana, I love you, baby. And we're going to be getting into you as well. We're going to be getting into Diana, the princess, okay? Now, while I do not consider Queen Elizabeth a queen, but Princess Diana is most certainly a princess. I feel like she's a divine being too. I'm getting a divine essence off of Princess Diana, and we're going to be getting into her. But I'm going to have to call my light sparks back from her so that we can reintegrate this energy back into the body. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that were caught up within the body of Princess Diana as a whole are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. But let's go ahead down to that media coverage as well. The media coverage, I can recall seeing this at my grandmother, Nana. She like when I call her Nansa too. Like, good morning. She like that. I can recall watching the coverage over at at Nansa's. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of that media coverage, that non-stop media coverage. It was very sad too, seeing that. Very sad. Are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? The election of President Obama. Now, while this was something that was seemingly unprecedented, these individuals are puppets and plants. I'm not gonna say hated it. I'm not gonna say that on President Obama because I did like him. I did like him as a person. Okay, his spirit. I liked his spirit as well. Just give my life parts back. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that were caught up within the body of Obama, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, them children of his, any of his family, the Secret Service, the cabinet, the whole White House at that time, all released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within the campaign trail and the election itself are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother. Oh, excuse me, child. It's just a lot going on with these coughs and burps, baby. Okay? To the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Hold on. What we get now? What we get? Let's look, cause this list. It's a list, baby. Bear with me. The Iraqi War. Okay, now this was something that was unnecessary. War in and of itself is completely unnecessary. This is a feature specifically of Draco society, Draconians, under archons. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments caught up within the idea of war in and of itself, any war that has happened past, present, won't none, and any perceived future wars are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay, immediately. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that were caught up within this senseless Iraqi war, are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. Saddam Hussein. Now let's go down this list. Any and all of my light sparks caught up within him, remove them and return them on home. Okay. Al Qaeda, that old group, the group Al Qaeda. Any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments released, removed, freed, healed, and brought home. Okay. Osama bin Laden. Now I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to be getting into these people, these deceased individuals. I'm going to be getting into them a little more, a little deeper in a separate post. But for now, let's get our life sparks back. Okay. Now I'm just gonna start naming because saying that is just gonna make the video long, and this list is still quite long, baby. Where we at now? Okay, we got 7 minutes. We got some time. George W. Bush hated it. Give my life sparks back. George H.W. Bush. Gotta tell you that I liked him at first. I felt like under that programming when I was a little small child, I did like George H.W. Bush, and it did hurt me to see him have to leave office. But that was just that programming. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within George H.W. Bush and just his whole presidency are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. What we get now? Kevin Sim, baby, hated it. Kevin Samuels hated it, baby. Now, Kevin, you are deceased now, and I'm gonna be getting into your energy. I'm gonna be getting into you in a separate post. Trust me, I'm gonna come back to you. But now you took a lot of my light sparks, baby, with those antics of yours, talking about these women and these so-called high value men who definitely ain't high value just because they got money. Bitch, they don't know the wisdom or the knowledge. They broke. And we're out here running around full of orbs and unhealed with that unhealed dick, putting it in these women and causing them to have low self-esteem, causing these women to have low self-esteem and walk around here mad and bothered. Okay? No. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that have been caught up within Kevin Samuels, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Where we at now? Where we at, honey? Bill and Hillary Clinton. Take them up out of them. They weren't bad, but I need my light sparks back. That coverage with Bill cheating with Monica Lewinsky, I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within that media coverage of Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. Hurricane Katrina. No, Hurricane Katrina, just the media coverage as a whole, the storm itself, I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within that media coverage of Hurricane Katrina, that got caught up within the storm itself, that had gotten caught up within FEMA and their response to it, Kanye West out there running that mouth, all released. George Bush don't like black people. All released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay, which is none other than me in the flesh right here on this phone, or on this talking to you. I'm talking to you right now. Okay. What else, honey? Hold on. Where we at? A little long, child. This is long, okay? John Benet Ramsey, hey daughter, I got you, babe. I'm coming for you. You free. You are free. I decree and declare that any of my light sparks, any of my energy, light sparks, and so fragments that got caught up within that case and that media coverage, and also the body of John Benet Ramsey, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child for reintegration. We are reintegrating, baby, and I love you. I'm sorry that happened to you. Where we at now? Jeffrey Dahmer hated it. Girl, I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks, soul fragments that got caught up within Jeffrey Dahmer as a whole. You know all them gay folk that went up over there and got killed are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. Where we at, honey? Where we at? Hold on, Jeffrey Dahmer. The COVID-19 pandemic. Now, of course, this one was a huge one. When I woke up one day all of a sudden to see this news report, I didn't even know that there was something going around. I woke up all of a sudden and it was like, damn. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within this illness in and of itself, are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Now let's get down to the media coverage. Oh my God, this was too much. It was too much going on with this media reporting about this COVID-19, which wasn't nothing but a motherfucking fear tactic anyway. All day, every day, couldn't see nothing but COVID-19. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within this pandemic, the news coverage, the media coverage of it, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments, they got caught up within the fear of contracting COVID, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child, as well as the social distancing, in the ghost town. Bitch, I was in Los Angeles. It was crazy going outside to see the streets empty of cars. Okay? And nobody walking. I was pretty much the only one outside without a mask on because I didn't give a fuck. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of seeing that dystopian, that shit looking like it was a dystopian society, are removed, released, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? You tried it, bitch. What else? Now, let's go down here. Any another popular headline that I may have missed. So I'm sure there's a lot going on, Spirit. You know how to hunt them down. And just any and all of them. Take my light sparks up out of all of them and bring them on back home so that we can truly use them. Okay? Excuse me. Now let's move right on along, honey. Where we get now? Now let's get to these networks. Some of these networks, these TV stations and channels and things of this nature. Let's get here. And these TV shows are going to be named. Okay? Now, where we at now? Okay. Ooh! Let's talk about world history. Now, this one right here, as well, is huge. Once you come out that vagina, let me tell you something about these simulations. These simulations, once you come out of that vagina, you cannot trust anything that you have been told about world history. As far as you know, you just came out of that vagina down here to this low realm, and ain't nothing. You can't trust nothing. Because you are the center of the universe. You are the center of the universe coming up out that vagina. Okay? So you cannot trust anything that you have been told by any. And as well, all the others that are around you, the people that are surrounding you, the older people, all these motherfuckers it's like computer generated. This is like artificial intelligence. You can't trust none of this shit. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up with any sort of world history, lies, all them lies, are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. And I'm also hearing programs. These are programs. So as far as you know, you came out of that pussy, and that was the start of the world. When you came out, you can't trust nothing you've been told before. Even if somebody appears to be old or older, or they older than you, they your mama, you came out of that pussy, and you are the center. Anyway, let's move on. Excuse me. Now let's go ahead and name some of these networks. How far are we into this? 19 minutes, okay, not bad. Okay, the Disney Channel. Hated it. Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments, they got caught up with the Nickelodeon. Cause baby, I was watching Nickelodeon now. That was my shiz right there. And I'm talking about it. Any all the branches of it too. I'm talking about Nick Jr., Nickelodeon, Nick at Night, Snick, whatever you want, whatever. I decree and declare that any and all of my light sparks and soul fragments and all of my energy as a whole are released from Nickelodeon. Okay? The Disney Channel. Where we at? Any and all. Now let's get to these TV shows. Okay, now there's gonna be some that I watch that I forget the name, but let's just get to these TV shows. Charmed, which is one of them shows I used to watch with Morse. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks, and so fragments that got caught up within the TV show Charmed and watching it with Morris Williams are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. Now let's just go down this list, y'all. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm just gonna say hated it or not. Whether I just if I ain't hated, I ain't gonna say it. But really, I didn't hate none of it. I don't hate nothing because hate is just it's too much energy involved in hatred. I don't hate nothing. I'm just playing. Really, I'm just playing. I'm just playing on the fact that these girls wanted me to be gay so bad. Let me see where I'm at. American Horror Story. Take my light sparks up out of. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within American Horror Story, but especially the Coven season, the season where they were the Coven, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. That's an American Horror Story. Legend of the Seeker. Hold on, y'all. X-Files. Sesame Street. Hated it. Big Bird. Hated it. Hold on. The Muppets. Hated it. The Brady Bunch. They was alright, but take my light sparks up out of them and bring them on back home. The Outer Limits, one of my favorite shows, but a lot of shit going on. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments they got caught up within TV shows just like The Outer Limits itself, X-Files, even though I loved them, are released, as well as The Twilight Zone, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Where we at now, honey? Full House. Family Matters. Martin. Excuse me. The Jamie Foxx Show. Good Times. Hated it. And the only reason I hated it really, I didn't really like it anyway, but Child Shrimp Po' Boy watched it all the time, and I couldn't stand it. Take my light sparks out that TV show and bring them on back home. Where we at now? In living color, you can do what you want to do. Now, of course I didn't hate that show. So, that's where I got hated it from. But take my light sparks up out of it and bring them on back home. Hold on, this list keep going back up to the top. That's why I keep having the trouble with it. It's a different world. Now, a different world, that was my shiz. I love me some Whitley. Now, Whitley was absolutely my favorite character up on that show. Whitley. And she had under my light sparks in her, too. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within that character, the character of Whitley, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. There was also something about her and Dwayne, Dwayne. Their relationship, I did love them together. There was something about that. Well, I gotta call my light sparks back from it. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of the relationship between those two characters, Dwayne and Whitley, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child, which is myself, okay? And then, hold on, let's go back down the list because it refreshed again. Moesha. I love Moesha, but I decree and declare that my energy is coming up out of that. My energy, light sparks, and soul fragments coming up out of Moesha. Okay, the Parkers. The Parkers, now, I gotta tell you, the Parkers, baby, I watched that show religiously. I found Kim to be absolutely funny. I used to watch the show with Morris a lot as well. Morris was most definitely one of my main friends in this lifetime. Ex-friends now, but at the time, we rolled thick. We was thick. We rolled thick. He was a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and decree and declare. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up, that got lost within that TV show in and of itself, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay, any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up. See, look, I'm starting to stutter and shit. Within the midst of Morris and I together, watching that show together, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within the cast, released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Oh, child, this was a long one, girl. And I ain't done yet. How long we got? We done been recording for 27 minutes now. Let me say this a couple more, then I gotta do a part 3. It's none. Where we at now? I done said the Parkers. Now let's go ahead. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay, Buffy the this list is getting my nerve going back up to the top like this. It is, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. America's Next Top Model, most definitely. And I'm talking about every single contestant on every single season. Tyra Banks, J. Manuel, Miss J. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within that show as a whole, any of the characters, the hosts, the judges, the contestants, any and all seasons, the guest judges, anybody are released, removed, freed, and brought on home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. American Idol hated it. Now, I don't have to. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that had gotten caught up and lost within the mix of that TV show as a whole. Any of the judges on any season, any of the panels, any of the contestants, the audience, the production, the Ryan Seacrest bitch, all released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. What we at, bro? Okay, making the band now. Based on what's going on with Didi right now, and based on my own experience with that monster, that creature that's inside of him, I would say hated it. But I can't lie, I didn't hate it. We're gonna have to call our light sparks back from this TV show. I'm making the band. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up or lost and stolen within the midst of making the band. I'm talking about any season, any appearance, any one of the groups that made it, any of the contestants, the advertisements, the commercials, all released. Diddy himself, every single one of the executives, Lori, the Boom Cats, Lori, all of them, all released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child immediately and permanently. Okay? Now I'm gonna have to cut this right here. We gonna have to do a part 3, darling, and then we almost through though. That's cute because baby, this was a long list. I ain't expected it to be so long, so we gonna go ahead and cut this right here and get back. I'll be right back, child. Bye bye.